Good countdown.
All right. Yes, I mean you asked for a countdown, so we gave you a countdown, even though it was quick. You didn't specify how long you needed.
I just complimented the countdown.
So we're live now, so let's not rag on Kevin for using a toothpick after eating cereal, or talk about Nate smearing Vaseline on his camera or anything like that. Those are all conversations we've had directly after going live in the past, by the way, for those of you that don't remember. What's up, guys? It is Middle Earth time. Actually, it's not Middle Earth time. It is our off week, but we're deciding to do an extra session to kind of wrap up the first chapter or the first phase. I'll go ahead and turn it over to Kevin, and he can explain all that. But yes, I'm excited to actually do some more Middle Earth this week, since we've, like, I think the last two sessions we've had like almost a month between the session before it, and like we've only played what 2 or 3 times in the last like 2 months, 3 months. So yeah, I'm even if this is just going to be kind of entering the fellowship phase, I'm excited to at least get some more Middle Earth in before before somebody decides to go on vacation or something, and we miss another month's worth. So
yeah, I mean, we had a chat last week about potentially coming back for a short session this week, because we had to finish slightly earlier last week. Last week was a great session. Some amazing role play again, especially from Ray and Charlie in that moment between Aurelion and Rook. And you know, these players have done such an amazing job bringing their characters to life and building realistic relationships and bonds between you all. And after missing, as Nathan's just said, a week in between our sessions, making it a 4-week break, I just thought, if we can we get back together just for a short a short bonus session to establish the fellowship phase, where, spoiler alert, the group are going to separate and go their own separate ways for a short time, each having their own things that they need to do and achieve and look into. Not only that, they're going to be leveling up. Aurelion hasn't leveled up yet, so Aurelion's going to get his chance to level up, whereas the rest of the group are going to be leveling up quite a bit as they're spending some time away doing their own little things. And then that should set us nicely up for part 2 of the story, as the plot thickens and the mystery continues to deepen. So we will start off this session with everybody. They had just finished trekking through the Midwater Marsh. They'd dragged the badly injured Tom Hefferton back to Bree for healing. Marikar had decided to stay in Archit, while Aurelion and Damrod took the injured boy to the healer in Bree itself. A day or so passes with the lever for Damrod's armor piece well in production. Rook's scimitar, elven scimitar that was found in the troll cave, was being used by the troll, has been assembled. Marikar has joined everybody once more at the Prancing Pony Inn in Bree, and the group are deciding what to do next. For Aurelion has seemingly come to almost a dead end at this moment in time in regarding his search for the heirloom of his family. So we are gathered all in the Prancing Pony. It is early morning. Breakfast is being served. Patrons are scarce at this moment in time. What are you all doing?
As we're sitting there, I'm just kind of going over this or looking at this newly crafted scimitar, and I'm admiring the handiwork. Just kind of flipping it around, moving it around, trying to get the feel for it. Not really.
Barleyman Butterbeer, the proprietor of the Prancing Pony at this time, is looking ever more increasingly concerned that you are swishing this live steel around, and almost carelessly of Rook, has almost taken the eye out of one of the serving hobbits running around. Maybe on purpose, just scaring
No.
On purpose?
I didn't do it on purpose.
No,
Hey, you know what would go really
That's
well
not
with this?
fair at all.
not purposely trying to hit the serving hobbit, but almost showing your skill and control of the blade itself.
Oh, okay.
Brooke, would
That
you
sounds-
stop?
That sounds way better.
Would you stop that? You're gonna hurt someone.
Well, I got it under control.
I'm not even looking up from the journal that I'm reading, like just barely ever, like occasionally just shoveling some eggs in my face.
You need to lighten up. I'm not even hurting nobody. I'm not even being all that dangerous. You're just being cranky today, aren't you?
Accompanying your eggs, Aurelian, are some less greasy fried mushrooms.
Yay!
They've been roasted more so than fried in grease now. So they're learning your particular appetites.
I would be so honored if I weren't like nose deep in this. He doesn't even notice there are mushrooms. Like he's eating them, but he doesn't even notice the taste.
Is that one of those things like you look at somebody and you're slurping back mushrooms?
Yes, but the person I'm looking at is the journal. Like poor Barleyman's probably like, oh, I hope he likes it. And I'm not even looking.
Have I gotten the armor piece at this time?
It's due for delivery sometime today.
I think Damrod, like on the tape, whatever table they're all sitting at, has a spread of like polishes and leather care stuff in front of him. Like he's sure that this is already going to be taken care of because this guy's probably a good leather worker. But he's got all of this stuff laid out in front of him, ready to go anyways. And he's got that look of someone who's waiting on their new PC to be delivered by UPS. Just waiting there. And he's given up on telling Rook to stop playing with the sword. And regardless of whether the sword is getting anywhere close to Damrod at any point, every time it like comes whooshing around his direction, you just see him kind of lower his head a little bit, as if the thing was going over his head.
When I see him getting uncomfortable,
yeah,
it's fine.
Marikar, how's your table looking?
As far as I know, it's looking pretty good. I feel like it's I can see Marikar maybe moving it every so often to like a better position so that it can be seen from multiple angles from the room. But I definitely see Marikar playing with Rook with his new sword. Like he'd have like a stick or something, and they'd be like play fighting in the middle of the bar.
It's been pretty empty. The last day or
yeah,
so.
probably with us fucking idiots there.
With someone
I have
yeah.
Yeah, I have one quick question. What did we decide to do with my prisoner that I acquired? Do I still have him?
Y'all
Or
had
would
him in
that
the
be
other
socially
town.
acceptable?
Y'all had him in the other town at the end of last session, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had him in the. You had him in the barn.
Mm-hmm.
Just chilling in the barn.
Because I think you and Rook stayed in whatever that
He's
other
like,
little place
where
was.
did I put that NPC?
We
I
did
told him
stay
to hide.
down. We did stay down there, didn't we, Marikar?
Yeah.
You handed Bron over to the Reeve and the wardens of Bree. They took him in. They listened to your stories. You explained that you went trekking through the marsh, and that were followed by the dwarf Gron, as well as Tom Heverton, and by this outlaw. He listened and he paid plenty of attention. However, it's all sort of circumstantial evidence almost. It's almost like your word against his.
Mm-hmm.
And this person seemingly hasn't done any harm against Bree themselves. And so he ended up being released in the end.
Even
Oh,
with
that's good.
He was told not to come back to Bree, right? Because don't know outside troublemakers.
Mm-hmm.
But
No troublemakers around these parts.
yeah, but other than that, no, there was nothing else that.
Gotcha. Marikar would have walked with him out and just said goodbye, and asked him not to hunt us down and kill us again. And he'd probably like leave him with like some water and rations, stuff like that. Before he went.
He looks so confused at you, Marikar. Like in his band and in the kind of world around here, like there's nobody like you. Like he's really confused. He doesn't know whether or not you're genuine or if you're putting on an act of some sort. He find it difficult to believe that you are who you are and what you're saying and what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll give you a nod and head out. Perhaps
Cool.
conflicted.
See, that's all. We just need a little seed in there, and then he'll be a good person later on down the road. But all right, I was just curious about that one little. But
Yeah.
This morning I'm just playing swords with Rook.
You're just sword fighting.
That's a fact.
Yeah. I got my wood. I got Rook's got the wood that I gave him.
Starting off strong.
We're both swinging the wood.
Yeah, it's like crossing all the time.
At what point would Aurelion or maybe Rook announce that they may be heading back to Rivendell for a bit?
That's all you, buddy.
I got it. Don't even worry about it. As we're swinging our wood, I tell Marikar, I was like, "Hey, let's sit down. Let me. I gotta tell you something."
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I look at him with like the most serious face he can find after swinging wood.
He doesn't think anything of it.
Post wood clarity.
Yes. I ask. So where do you plan to go from here?
Who, me?
Yeah. Like, what do we do now?
And then he would look at Aurelion and Damrod.
Well, they're not here.
Oh, it's just us. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're on other stuff. Yeah, he would say, well, I don't know.
Are y'all still in the bar sword fighting?
Wait.
No, we stopped sword fighting to talk.
Yeah, where
But
are
are
we?
y'all talking in the bar still after the wood fight?
Yes.
Yeah, we're at our own table, okay? The kids' table.
The
Well, I
Thank
mean,
you
we're
very
still in
much.
the
kids.
we're in the bar too.
Yeah, yeah,
Aurelion's reading, and
cool kids' table.
I was
Yeah.
dodging your
Okay, we're all
Rook's
together
sword,
now. My
so
bad. So
Oh, I just thought you wanted to have a bro moment, and we like sat at the bar together to
we
talk.
can, man. Like
No, it's fine.
Drinks.
It's fine. We don't have
It's
to.
the morning.
I asked for drinks.
So
Anyway, so I tell him, you know, this is a really nice handle. We've been through a lot together. But I think from here, myself and my cousin will have to go back to Rivendell for a time.
Are you being quiet when you say the R word?
Ish. I mean, if you're listening to me, you might hear it, but if you're not, you probably just don't care. But
I'll only listen if you're like shouting it.
I'm not. Hey, we're going to Rivendell. No, I'm not doing that. But I say I don't know when we might cross paths again. So,
you ever tell a kid bad news?
yeah.
Yeah, like he thinks everything's fine, and then you tell him that, and then he gets really sad.
Oh.
And he'd say, "Oh, I thought we were doing something. We got to find the necklace. I thought that's what we were all doing that together."
I understand, but going through just everything we've gone through, I can feel hatred growing within me. I feel like I need to go back to my people and talk to a certain group of elves to maybe get this reversed, because I feel like if I don't, I might lose control and not care what happens at that point.
Yeah, you notice that when you say that, it definitely hits Marikar. Like he completely understands what you're saying.
When he says lose control, he kind of glances back at Aurelion in reference to he's had a mental crack before.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm trying to prevent.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Marikar, he kind of relaxes a little bit, and he says, "Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's been stressful. You know, maybe we just need to take some time, figure our stuff out. That makes sense. Maybe I'll go back home too. Well." And then he kind of looks away and says, "Well, I'm sure you'll head this way again, right? You and your cousin Aurelion."
Oh, I absolutely imagine at some point we will be coming back this way. I think right now we need a reset. I got some things I still need to learn from Elrond, from Thranduil, if his depressing self ever makes it over to Rivendell.
Those are big words.
Yeah, he's just being honest. He's just telling them, we might not see each other for quite some time.
And Marikar thinks he knows that. Like Marikar really thinks it's just gonna be like, hey, you're just gonna go to Rivendell, come right back, and we're gonna continue all being friends. So he's like, yeah, it'll be fine. We'll see each other again. Hey, I still got Damrod. He's not leaving.
I say that being said, I pull out my pipe with elven smoke. I sit it on the table and I slide it over to Marikar. I said, "This is for you. I have the handle that you made me. You have my pipe and my smoke from me."
Oh, I don't do drugs.
It's not.
I'm straight edge. And he starts glugging beer.
Straight edge.
I'm straight edge. I don't.
I'm straight edge.
I got to keep my cardio up, but thank you so much. And he takes it and he looks around at all of his pockets that he doesn't have, and then he just puts it in his mouth.
I reach over, I strike a match, reach over and put it in the pipe. Say, just pull.
He starts pulling on the desk or on the bar, and just.
I grab him by the shirt and I stuck another match. Suck on the end of the pipe.
And as he's trying to as he's trying to talk to you, he's actually inhaling and kind of breathing.
Now I'm like, yeah,
he's breathing through the pipe. And what's the effect of this smoky smoke?
Listen, Charlie, you said it.
Is it just like a cigarette?
Yeah, I think it's just like tobacco. I don't think it's like marijuana.
Okay.
Oh.
Nathan, stop it!
You said it.
Just don't. You're the one that took it there.
No, I took it there.
Well, you both took it there.
Everyone else did, Charlie. Everyone else did.
No, they didn't.
So
if we have people in chat saying they'll show us wood now, so everyone took it there.
I mean, listen, I'm just gonna suck on your wood for a little bit, and I'm just curious on what the effect of that would be. Is it like, do I get a +1 in handling? Do I get wood handling now?
I'm not answering any more questions.
No.
So,
if I answer any more questions, it could be a deeper hole. I'm not doing it.
You've definitely got your cardio up now. That's all I've got to say.
There is.
Yeah, my endurance is raised.
There is definitely some suggestions that pipeweed addles the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And makes you a little bit slower in thinking. Clouds your mind, but relaxes you a lot.
Okay, yeah. So Marikar, he takes a little puff, and he's like, "Oh, this is nice." And you see he's kind of like loosened up a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but he just kind of keeps it there, and that's his thing now. He's Marikar with the pipe.
Marikar the pipe wielder.
Marijuana Marikar, that's what they call him.
Charlie, you're not making this any better.
Whenever someone asks, like, "Oh yeah, this Rook's wood."
Yeah, don't do that.
I gave him wood, and then he gave me wood in return.
And now I keep it in my mouth.
All the time, so I can remember him and his taste. All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get us banned.
This is why we'll never be sponsored.
No, I'm telling you, we need to get a Harry's Razor commercial.
I'll sponsor you, man. Once I start making money again. But yeah, so I guess
this episode sponsored by Nate's Wood.
With glowing, never mind, I can't say that.
What am I listening to? I have no idea.
Got some wood that needs polishing. Come to Nate.
Ooh, yep, that's my new thing. Nate the Wood Polisher. We go change my name on all socials. All right, so what's Damrod and Hamrod doing?
Respect.
Oh, one thing. Marikar says, "Hey, Rook, before you go, want to wrestle?"
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I do.
And then he'd run out the door to go wrestle outside.
Woo! Follow.
That's it.
Okay. So you're standing out.
Gotta end it on a high note.
What are you talking about? This is as high as it gets.
Hi.
Aurelion, maybe you don't notice so much. Damrod, you're still sitting at the table, and every so often you'll just like move a tool slightly. You know, some of this polishing, like equipment, some oiling equipment. You just move it slightly just to get it in the right position, ready for when it's delivered. But yeah, I imagine you'd all of a sudden see Marikar and Rook sort of run out the front door.
On my way out, I tell Aurelia, we need to talk later. And out the door.
That's nice, sweetie.
What?
You,
Yeah, he's not paying attention. He just goes,
yeah, so the two of you are out front, or maybe around the side. And you're gonna wrestle. Like, Rook,
Yeah.
do you know what you're getting into here? I
hope
can't
so.
imagine the elves. I can't imagine the elves wrestle all that often.
Rook wrestles.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
yeah.
scrappy. He's a scrappy guy. And realistically, like Marikar, he wouldn't go like full on, like a
suplex.
yeah, he's not going Olympic style, like I'm gonna destroy this man, stick my finger up his butt or whatever they do in wrestling.
Um,
Well, that's the
Rook,
thing.
This is how this goes. Marikar does WWE wrestling, and Rook does like actual like Olympic sport wrestling. That's the difference
You mean
between the
stuff that
two.
works against the stuff that doesn't?
When
No,
you said I'm gonna stick my finger, I'm not gonna stick my finger up his butt, Charlie looks so scared.
I said I'm not. I said I'm not.
I think it's the
The
other way
fact that
around.
you had to say it.
I think it's like Marikar does the
God.
proper wrestling, like no holds barred wrestling.
Chairs.
Yeah.
And Rook thinks,
Yeah,
Rook thinks it's like a dance.
He can't catch me because I'm dancing. Why are you dancing? I'm wrestling.
I'm wrestling. Stop.
Okay, so what would Rook's approach be to this wrestling? Is he just trying to avoid Marikar and just keep slipping out the way, or is it a case of you're going to try and get him, like hold him back?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I mean, at first I'm gonna just play with him, try to
Mhm.
can't get a hold of me, making fun of him as I
Mhm.
get in and out of his holds and such.
Okay, Marikar then, athletics, and Rook acrobatics.
I mean, that's good for both of us, really.
Okay, so Rook, you start off with your sort of like ducking and like squirming around, but Marikar's used to wrestling like this. Maybe not having someone as slinky, but he corners you and he gets a hold of you, and he's got a firm grip of you. What would you then try to do?
I want to step on
Keep
his
your
foot.
fingers. That's my butt.
Either step on his foot or kick him in the shin, try and get him to let go. Unhand me.
All right, give me then an acrobatics against athletics again, Marikar.
All right.
Sucks.
Woo.
Oh, your
Not
acrobatics suck.
Not so bad this time.
Okay, athletics for Marikar.
Oh, I thought I did it. Hello.
Oh no.
Oh, okay, yeah. The stamp on the foot from Rook, or like the slight kick in the knee, sort of buckles your grip, and he's able to like slip out of your grasp.
It's like, my little toe.
I jump on his back and I lick my finger. I'm like, I'm like digging into his ear.
I hate that.
What is Rook attempting to do next?
Seeing as how he jumped on his back, he's gonna try and kick out his back knee and pull him to the ground.
Okay. It's gonna be athletics then, Rook.
Yeah, look at that.
And athletics, Marikar.
Oh, okay.
Hey Charlie, since Ray made me change scenes so that we could show the rolls, can you check where you're rolling? Because I think it's rolling private.
Is it?
Yeah, it is rolling private.
I was confused about that. I just thought,
How do I change that? How do I change that?
Top of your character sheet.
I just wanted everyone to see the rolls.
Yeah, I was rolling the scimitar earlier.
To public, got it.
Yeah, that's it.
But it was a 14. He got a 14 also.
Yeah, so like it's a stalemate, and you're sort of locked. You're trying to manipulate him to the ground, and Marikar is holding his ground. And then people sort of start gathering around, and they're all like sort of stopping and just staring at you, lot, you two wrestling.
I whisper, let's give them a good show, since they're watching anyway.
You see the face on Marikar get so happy.
I'll tell you what. Give me both of you. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Hey, I'm pretty good at
Oof.
dex, man.
Wow.
Okay.
You both
Again?
you effectively you're trying to put on a show. You both slip in the mud, and your arms are doing like the flail. But you're both able to keep your footing, and you almost finish in like an acrobatic pose at the end.
Yeah.
At this
superhero
point, Rook would just start laughing.
Oh, same.
Yeah, there's this like sort
Tie.
of
Call a tie.
it's like there's people start like looking around at each other, and there's this like middle-aged hobbit gentleman chewing on like some straw, and he just like, and then like grabs his little cart and waddles off, pulling his cart.
Well, he had a good
Marikar
time.
laughs at that. It's like how big look how tiny the cart is. And the Marikar would kind of pat Rook on the back, and he'd say, "Yeah, I was taking it easy on you. I know you elves are so thin and frail."
I said, "Oh yeah, I know." And he kind of turns around. I was like, "Yeah, okay."
At that moment, you see the leather worker, the guy that cures the leathers from Archit. He arrives with a bundle in his arms.
Hey, Jim.
Oh, hey, Marikar, right? Yeah.
Yeah. See, he knows me. We're cool. I got friends all over this place.
See?
Yeah.
Damrod's
Rose,
inside if you're looking for him.
Rose sends her regards, Rosie.
Where are they?
Is inside, is he?
Oh, yeah. Come on, Rook. Damrod's stuff's here. Let's go see.
Ooh, let's go.
The door opens.
Have some fun before we go.
Yeah, the door opens. Damrod, do you look? Are you? I actually am imagining you've always got your back to the wall and you're always looking out. So.
Oh yeah, Damrod's that person that tries to make sure he's got the seat at the table that sees the entrance, anyways. But for what like this time, he's even more like focused on the doorway.
He's like sitting at the door, looking out the window.
The door opens, and you see the leather wiggling like a bundle, wrapped in cloth. And he looks around the room, sees you, and approaches.
As soon as he steps into the doorway and like blocks out kind of the light coming from outside where it's like in his back and he can kind of see the front. Damrod just hears bow, bow. And he just waves to the guy.
He motions his head and walks towards you, approaching the table, looking at your companion, just staring at the book. intently, not even noticing that he's like standing right over like your shoulder, Aurelian.
Mhm.
I glad I found you. Good you're still here. Oh, I got it completed for you. Here you go, and he'll like place it on the table, lands with a thud and a little bit of a jingle from the metal.
Marikar smiles. Is it wrapped up in anything? Or is he just like,
Okay, Kevin's gone.
No, Kevin. I'll go.
are you back, Kevin?
Kevin's back.
Marikar does smile. He stands right behind you and looks over your shoulder.
Yep, I figured. Is this is it wrapped up or anything?
Yeah, it's like wrapped in a it's like wrapped in a cloth, like just a linen cloth.
Gotcha. Damrod will look up at the leather worker and look back down at the package and just slowly start to unwrap it.
Okay, give me give me 3d20s.
Hold on just 1 second. I'm gonna refresh your camera real quick.
Yeah, you're kind of going all over the place, Kev.
Oh, okay.
Can
you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. You just your video is not matching up very well. See if that does anything.
Can you see me moving?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, it looks better now. All right, you said 3d20s?
Yeah.
Well, I'm all over the spectrum.
Indeed. Give me one more. Okay. The plates have obviously been removed from any rotting leather that was there previously. And the leather from the hide that was procured from the coin that you gave him, it still looks pretty fresh, pretty supple still. It may take a little bit while to toughen up, but that should help in the sort of molding to the size of your fit effectively. And it looks pretty good. I'm sure you could find better elsewhere, but I'm sure there could be far worse as well.
It's perfect. Thank you. And he kind of looks up at the leather worker and looks back down and just continues to run his fingers and hands across this piece, just inspecting it more and more. At some point, he's going to start, after a couple minutes of inspecting it, he's going to start checking any of the metal components to see if they need oiled, any of the joints or anything to see if they need oiled or greased or anything, just making sure everything's ready to go before he straps this thing to his arm.
Yeah, you can see that the leather is very well tended for, and that the metal plating bits have certainly been cleaned up a little bit. But this guy isn't used to working with metals as such, and probably just need a little bit of work to clean up. But it is fully functional as it is.
I think that Damrod would just start cleaning it right then and there. Start trying to clean up what he can with the stuff he has in front of him.
Were you gonna try it on, Damrod?
Once it's ready. It's been
Marikar
renewed.
goes like poke it.
Damrod slaps your hand just out of instinct, and then like looks guilty afterwards. Like he's just like, oh, it's just a reaction, and he'll continue to polish it. He's not quite looking like Aurelion reading the journal, but he's about 2 steps from being Aurelion reading the journal with this armor piece.
Yeah, you're able to fix it onto your arm, fastening the buckles for each sort of plate as it goes round, and it's they're tucked away well enough that they're not like impeding you in any way. They're not like in the way at all, and it's a little bit loose fitting, but you can certainly tighten it a lot more to get that perfect fit. Again, you could certainly have this fixed to a chainmail sleeve also, so it would go over a chainmail sleeve as well, and that would be easier. But even without that, it fits well enough for the time being, and all the plates articulate very well. All the sections articulate very well together.
Once Damrod gets this on, he kind of like holds it out and examines it, checks the buckles and everything, and flexes a few times. And then he turns to Marikar and bends his arm a couple more times and like holds it out, kind of showing it, and he's like, "It's as if I have an iron arm."
That should be your nickname. Damrod Iron Arm.
There you go.
Right?
I like it.
He goes to high five you.
And he goes to like put his fist out and realizes you're trying to high five and
yeah, you do this.
Yeah, and then if we do the weird thing.
I said that speak.
No, you can see Marikar is super excited for you. He is so happy for you.
Damrod says, "I don't have a ranger name yet. Maybe this is something I could earn."
Butterbur comes past and, oh, hello there. I'm looking awfully good. What did you say? Iron arm. I could be catchy that good.
Damrod does the Captain America pose, like with the with the armor piece out.
This is such a wholesome episode.
It is. We had to after how like deep it got last time.
Yeah. Until everyone leaves me.
As it get deeper.
Okay, never mind. We're back to deep.
We only have 2 settings in our campaigns. Either we're all in the fields or we're just goofy as hell.
And sometimes both at the same time.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, those are weird times.
Those are the best times. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So on the armor handout, the armor sleeve handout that you should have access to, Damrod. Yeah, if you want to put the details in there. So armor class +1, reaction to reduce damage taken by your proficiency modifier.
I don't know how to edit it.
Let me handouts.
I see the sleeve at the bottom. I just don't know how to edit it.
Okay, yeah, hold on. That's because I'm giving
That's
permission to it. You should have permission now.
right. All right, and what did you say to add to it?
So you can add in for the details armor class +1.
Okay.
I have adjusted your sheet for it, by the way.
All right.
And then as a reaction, you can reduce the damage of an attack equal to your proficiency modifier.
All right.
I mean, it's only 3, but you know, it's better than a kick in the nuts.
Hey, in Middle Earth, 3 can help a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's a trilogy.
Right?
All right, it is added.
Yeah. And I think I have added it to your character sheet already.
Can't have 2, cheater.
So, once you have got it, Damrod, and you are all once again sitting around the table, what's Damrod's next move?
I think Damrod's next move is to ask everyone, I guess, what our/their next move is. I don't I think he's been thinking his own things, but I don't think he knows that yet that Aurelion and Rook like don't have any more leads of where to go as of yet directly. So he kind of just asks, where are we going from here? Do you all have leads on your quest?
Marikar's face turns into a frown.
What's wrong, Marikar?
I give him a yeah.
And then he slowly looks to Aurelion.
He's still like he hasn't even looked up yet.
Aurelion, what did you do to Marikar?
Yeah.
I legitimately didn't hear you.
What did you do to Marikar, Aurelion?
Yeah. He's flipping.
And then he looks over to Rook.
He tries not to make eye contact.
Rook, can you explain this or get your cousin to? What did Aurelion do to Marikar?
I didn't know what Aurelion did to Marikar. But he may or may not have gotten some news that he didn't want.
They're leaving us.
He kind of stares at. He kind of kicks the table where he's at.
Ah.
Just looks down.
It's true.
You're leaving. Why?
Well, I feel slowed down by the dark forces that have overtaken us. And he glances over to Aurelion, and he really has. We need to seek out Elrond. We need hire people that know more than we do to get rid of whatever has overcome us at this point. We need rest. There's things I still need to learn. There's things that he still needs to figure out. And I think that at this point, that's where we're headed, is Rivendell. Looks at Aurelion like, you got anything?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Elaborate.
Uh-huh.
Are you looking at the book?
Yeah, 100%.
I snatched the book, closed it, and set it next to me.
What are you doing?
We're trying to talk, and you're
like
completely
that.
ignoring us, Aurelion.
What? I've only been reading it for like a few minutes.
I've wrestled
Nope.
with him. No, it's been longer than a few minutes.
Nope. We were play fighting for at least an hour.
And then we went outside and wrestled.
When did it get light?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Damrod's like making as much noise with this pauldron as he can, with this sleeve as he can.
He's got a metal sleeve.
When did that happen?
Iron arm, huh? Right?
Damrod Iron
That
Arm.
sounds
Yeah.
stupid.
Aurelion might
Said the
be.
person reading
Don't
the
listen
book.
to him.
Don't be stupid. It's not made of iron. It's made of steel and mithril.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
actually,
Actually, if I say so.
Yeah, no,
He's
he
like-
will 1000% say it's made of steel.
he's like a slightly leather arm.
I say, so Aurelion, to recap, I have told them that we are going to Rivendell.
Oh,
Said.
yeah.
Or I told Marikar, and then he just blurted
What's
out.
he so upset about?
I don't know.
What do you mean? What am I upset about?
It's not
I
that
thought
big
we
a
were
deal.
like doing. What do you mean it's not a big deal?
Marikar, you're not too. We're coming back.
Well, I know, yeah. Like I'll see you in like a few weeks or something, but like that's not. I don't know. I thought we were like doing a thing. We have to find your necklace.
A few
Marikar.
weeks isn't accurate.
What are you going to get up to while we're gone? Are you just going to sit here and cry?
Well, no, I'm gonna hang out with Damrod.
Okay, then hang out with Damrod. We'll be back.
Okay, but just 2 weeks. That's what Rook said.
That's not what Rook said. I said a few weeks or more.
And he starts counting on his fingers. So like 3?
It's more than you can count on your hands.
Yeah.
Possibly toes.
Whoa, that's new information.
Marikar, this is what I didn't want to get into. We're actually going to be gone quite some time. In fact, we might all be different when we see each other again.
We won't.
No, we won't. Yeah, else, yeah. We won't. You will.
Marikar, don't think of this as some parting. You have to focus on finding your good friend, don't you?
Well, yeah, but yeah. No, I'll be fine. No, yeah, I have a task that I can do by myself, possibly with Damrod.
We obviously know you're lying. I mean, that's obvious, right?
Brooke, a moment, and I will pull him aside. So, Fjording and Rivendell, how bad would that go over?
Yes.
Would I be able to think back what might happen, Kevin?
What, are they gonna look at me weird? Come on.
No. Like, kind of go through my mind. Like, would this really work out? Did I hear some stuff about Bjornings before? Is this gonna be a bad idea?
Yeah,
for a short time, like I'm sure Damrod would love it. Marakar would love it, but
they're not even close in name. Why do we keep doing that?
It's always one pair of characters. Always.
Marakar would probably love it.
Yeah, well, how would everyone else do is the thing. I don't care how Marakar feels.
I think for the majority it would be fine. However, eventually he would get very bored. Like elves are just sort of used to just sitting and doing nothing for like months on a time. Like an elf will go, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go and sit in the garden for a month, sort of thing.
That sounds terrible.
Well, you gotta remember when you lived 1,000 years.
Yeah, you got time to do absolute shit.
Yeah.
And I'll follow up. I have no doubt that he'll be fine, but if he's gonna mope the entire time we're gone, then you know we're gonna hear about it when we get back. Oh, I spent all month just pining after you two. I missed you so much, my good friends. Like, dude, can
Okay.
you put up with that when we get back?
I mean, he's got a friend where he could literally chop wood for like throughout the whole winter.
But he's gonna be sad. Like, you gotta remember that Aurelian super like overstates like how much he means to people.
He obviously does. Yeah, he's just gonna be lost without me there.
Literally.
He wouldn't even have made it here alive if it wasn't for me.
He super thinks that.
Which is low-key true.
What is
Damrod? What's Damrod saying about this?
I think at the same time that Aurelion and Rook go off and have this conversation, Damrod doesn't know they're having this conversation, but he's like, while all this is happening, he's taking stock in his head of whether he could take Marikar back to his home without it being a problem.
It's like when you have to leave for Christmas vacation, you got the friend who's got nowhere to go.
I'm such a fucking charity case. Oh, I almost got Kevin.
So the rest of the day passes by. This is probably going to be the last night before the elves make their way back. Who knows what Damrod is going to do?
I'm gonna sneak out in the middle of the night.
Marikar, you've got some options, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if anybody's going to have anything else to say to Marikar or what.
Did Damrod wants to try to think about why like what would happen if he took Marikar with him back home, if it would be acceptable or not.
You'd have a grand old time.
Are you referring to home as in your home where the Rangers, where the Dunedain refuge sort of is? If
my
you're
home
looking to potentially reduce shadow.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you could, if you wanted to.
I think Damrod would offer. I think he would talk to Marikar. Marikar, I know that.
Yeah, best friend. What's up?
I know the other two are going back to their not well-known city. Just trying to be a little cryptic.
Can you believe that? We're supposed to be like, buds. We're in this till the end, and they're just gonna up and leave. At least we got each other.
They will return, and I think that it's going to be necessary. They may find more information on the necklace while they're there.
Yeah, listen, I know it's probably good for them. No, it just sucks,
It does, but we could take a trip ourselves while they're gone and take your mind off of it.
Can I roll like a brain check to see if Marikar...
Brain check? Where's that on the sheet?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Well, listen, because...
corruption.
Like for if Marikar can decipher that Damrod was gonna leave also, but he's trying to take me along with him now that he's seen my my ineptitude
you're assuming that Damrod's just trying to take you with anyways.
Full on assumption. Yeah. No, he's not in a great place. His two
God,
of his
I
friends
hope
are
you roll
leaving.
well.
Now another one's just like feeling bad for him. That's kind of where his mind is right now.
We're all feeling bad.
Insight.
God, I hope you roll well to know how I'm actually feeling. Oh.
Dang.
Hold on. I've got to see.
It's double ones.
Maricar the
Jim goes,
depressed.
oh. Yeah, Maricar, he sees that and he says, I'm good here. It'll be fine. Hang out with Bree. I'll go back to Hatchet and like do some work. Maybe I'll be like a courier in between cities or something. I'll find something to do. Don't worry about it. I'll be good.
Maricar, you set out to this land for something.
Mhm.
What was it?
I'm gonna look at names.
Nyla.
Nyla. And he goes, well, a good friend of mine, Nyla, came out this way, and from what I know, her and her husband and her kid, they come to this town in this area. So I mean, if I'm here, like I can't leave here. What if they come back and I miss them?
Didn't you
And
get
maybe while I'm
information?
here, I can find some rumors or some more information that leads me into a more direct path. Really, I guess though they were last seen out west,
East.
but that's what I came from east.
Yeah. And
Wait, so the bitch is back home?
no, like they didn't make it back to Bree.
Man, I can't keep her story straight. She crazy.
Yeah, they didn't make it to Bree. They left your home.
Yep.
And then they
Which
didn't
is
make
east.
it to Bree. Yeah, which is east, over the mountains.
Wait, I thought. Hold on, maybe I'm just remembering something wrong. I thought they were fairly known around here because they go back and forth so often, and then they left, and then they never came back.
So the apple doors, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're traders.
Yep.
They made their way into the east. That's where they met you guys, and they travelled back
Mm-hmm.
west to Bree, with Nyla marrying the son of the apple door.
Yeah, George.
However, George Appledore.
That jerk.
However, they never returned. They never made it back to Bree. So they left your place, and they crossed the mountains, but they never made it to Bree. They went missing.
Oh, see, I thought they
and then you
got to Bree and they left but never came back.
No, they never made it to Bree in the first place.
Oh. Okay.
And you found in the troll cave a small wooden carved rabbit that you had carved for her with one foot missing.
Yeah.
It's a lucky rabbit token.
Right. Yeah, Maricar, he kind of goes a little bit in circles, trying to not sound frantic. And he says, "No, I'm gonna stay around here. I'm gonna search around some more. I mean, we might have missed something at the troll caves. There might have been something else around that way. I might even go home to kind of retrace their steps. Maybe I can find a trade caravan going that way or something. But no, I have stuff I need to do." also, if I'm being honest about it. But I appreciate it, the offer.
You haven't even heard my offer.
Well, you're gonna have me come with you, right? I thought that's what you said. Or did you not get
No.
there yet?
I hadn't made it there yet.
Oh.
You
Oh.
just assumed I was going to take you since they were leaving you.
Make it sound like we're the bad guys. Jeez.
Oof.
I merely suggested that we go somewhere together. Whether that is to
Well,
look
yeah.
for your friend, or just simply seeing more of the world. You seem to enjoy seeing Bree and all the new things it holds, and like Damrod motions to this just like this decent village, but you know they're just standing like next to a puddle of mud because the streets are just wrecked because it's not a proper city.
Yeah, this place is really cool.
And Damrod's like, there are places much more fascinating than Bree. But if you need to find Nyla, I can stay and help with that. I don't have anywhere necessarily pressing that I need to go. I promise to help you, and I will.
And Marikar kind of shakes his head and says, "Yeah, I'm sorry for jumping to conclusions like that." Yeah. I mean, I'd like that.
Let's see the elves off and show them a proper send-off, and then we can find out where to start tomorrow.
All right. Well, they're coming back though, right?
Eventually. Elves do live a long time, so...
Not a good sense of time.
Does Marikar know yet how long elves live? Has he pieced that together?
I mean, like he knows it's a super long time, and he's never gonna reach that age. So it just doesn't really matter.
I'm sure there's been a conversation about how old you are or how many years ago something happened.
Yeah. Aurelian talks about himself so much that I think Marikar's got the idea.
Gotcha.
So the next morning rises and the elves prepare to leave. What happened to your horses? You left them here, didn't you?
Thought we did.
Oh, we did have horses, yeah. Wait.
Yours is fully healed now.
Oh, thank goodness. I was going to ask about her.
Yeah, yours is fully healed now.
Wait, y'all have had horses this whole time and we haven't made use of them?
I've had a horse with a bad leg and it's been healing this whole time. I don't know why Charlie hasn't used his horse.
I thought
we marched through the moist marshes and we could have all ridden on Charlie's horse.
No.
Yeah, all of
He
us.
was carrying everybody's gear. That's what he was doing.
I mean, it might have given him a Charlie horse, but at least it would have worked.
Shut up.
Ba-doom.
No.
See what you did there? Smart guy.
You all, the four of you with the two horses, make your way to the west gate of Bree, where you stand outside the gate, ready to see off the two elves. Is there anything you say before you depart?
Marikar, he would go up to Rook and he'd go to give him a handshake, and he'd say, I guess this will be bye for a while.
A while.
Not that long though, right?
And soothing his soul, he goes, "No, not that long."
Okay, cool. We'll see in a few number weeks.
We'll see you.
I say we.
Oh, Bearcard, are you doing something now?
Yeah, Damrod and I are gonna go see what we're gonna do stuff too. Like we don't, we're adventurous. We can do things.
I will shoot Rook a look like, oh, thank goodness.
He's
Well, then you'll be so busy you won't even notice that we're gone.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you come back, we'll get together, have a drink sometime. But for real, if you find anything more on your family jewelry, I'd be more than willing to help out. You guys have been great.
Well, thank you.
And then he lunges at Aurelion and gives him a big old bear hug.
Aurelion's like kicking his feet trying to get out. Put me down.
Kick him in the knee.
Oh, he hates that.
He doesn't like it.
Then he puts him down.
Well, then, all right. Don't do that again, but...
Oh, I will.
You didn't do that to Rook.
Not yet.
Scoot.
Technically, he did that to Rook a couple of times, like 2 days ago.
Listen, I was reading.
Obviously.
Well, you two be safe. If you happen to come by Rivendell or know someone on the way, feel free to send us a message. I don't know where you'll be, so we will not. You'll probably get lost.
Damrod steps up to Aurelion and offers a hand, offers his iron arm in handshake.
I will just very tentatively take it and shake it. And
Damrod will pull you into a hug. Only as the hug comes in, you realize like it's for show, and he whispers in your ear, "The two of you better return. If I have to break Marikar's heart, I will burn Rivendell to the ground."
So Aurelion at first was saying things like kicking, but once he hears you, he just stops and he goes, "You wouldn't even be able to strike a match, Dunedain." And I'll just push you away. Rook, you ready to go?
He looks at the two of them. Says, "You have my best. It's time to go."
Okay.
Then he runs up and gives Marikar the biggest hug he's ever had.
Yeah. Marikar hip throws you and lands on top of you. And it's like, I got you first.
Oh.
Did you guys just do like this? Like the bro, whatever it is, the chest bump?
No, I grabbed him and hugged him. He's like, bloop, and threw me on my back.
Oh, gotcha.
They just did the Lion King.
Okay, you win this one, Marikar. I owe you one.
I'll win all of them.
Again.
See ya, be safe. See you in 2 weeks, bye. Off. And then he turns away and walks away.
Ew.
You didn't break your back or anything, did he?
I am not that frail.
Yes, but Marikar is very aloof and strong.
Did you just call him fat?
He is big boned.
I'm big boned.
No, as we're leaving, I tell Aurelion, so I said I needed to talk to you.
Did you?
It's like, what?
When was this?
And stop. When I wasn't bluffing in the midst of battle. If you go somewhere, we're going together.
He just
Be
kind
it
of
the,
he rolls his eyes.
he kind of bonks his head. Do not roll your eyes, because I am being serious.
I'm sure
We're
you
either both going to the Undying Lands, or neither one of us is going.
All right.
Swear to me that you're not just going to take off at some random time.
No, I swear.
I swear to God.
I swear that I will not just take off. You and I are in this together, Rook.
Trust it, he lies.
Oh, I forgot.
What? Are you not used to me being honest?
Something of this gravity you would not be lying about.
Oh.
Only about your family being traitors.
I didn't lie about a damn thing.
I'm being serious. I will not just run off. If anyone here I think I can trust with this information, it's you. And as a sign of good faith, I will tell you that this ring can't just find treasure. It doesn't just find treasure. One thing I was worried about is if Marikar found out that he may be able to find his lost love, or that Damron may be able to find some ancient Dunedain trinket.
So basically, you can use it to find something of great value to somebody.
Exactly.
What kind of value?
Like
Rook.
Monetary, emotional?
Rook, keep your dragon sickness in mind. But
damn, caught on to it.
He said, "I am."
I am. I'm just wondering. Jeez.
The Black Barrow was full of items that were gained because of the ring. So that treasure was just an example. It can be used as a dowsing rod to find treasure, or to find ancient knowledge, or maybe even someone that's lost.
Well, I don't know if you should have told me that.
Yeah, do not give this information to either of them. This is elf knowledge only, okay?
Elf's honor.
Elf's honor. And I will give, like, as a sign of good faith, I will give you, like, our secret handshake that we came up when we were real young.
Like a wait, tap, wiggle, slide.
Yes, exactly.
Elves are lame.
Just now realizing that.
Doing this, does it make you at least smile?
He doesn't look upset, but he does have 10 shadow.
Can you just give me a fake smile, Aurelion? Have we not had a grand adventure? Now we're going to Elrond. We're going to see our kin. Can you not be happy about something?
I am happy. I just don't show it the way that you might be used to me showing it. I'm not exactly the same elf that I was when we were younger. Neither are you. You've changed in some ways.
It's a fair assessment.
Not everyone has to put on some grand show to show that they're happy. Not that I'm dismissing this cause of yours. I'm not saying it's foolish, but just know that because you haven't gotten the exact result you wanted doesn't mean you haven't made strides towards that goal.
I shall achieve my goal.
I'm sure you shall.
So
there we go.
On the road.
The elves on their horses begin their journey east towards the last homely house of Elrond in Rivendell, in Galadriel. While the humans, Damrod and Marikar, stay behind in Bree, at least for the time being. This is where our fellowship phase will begin. So, I've gave you all handouts in your journals, just for some things, some things you can try to achieve over this time. stuff like losing shadow, gaining new traits. You can try and gain a new virtue, an extra virtue. You will also obviously be leveling up your characters now. Aurelion will be leveling up to 6, while everybody else will level up to 5. 5 is obviously one of the keystone levels for you all. And when we all return, the second part of the tale will begin. But before we return and that begins, we're going to resolve what happens during the time that our fellowship, our companions are away from each other. So,
Like kind of what we're doing in the meantime.
yeah. So what I'd like you to do is looking at the list, and if there's any other suggestions you have as to what you would like to do, if it's even not on the list. I'm certainly going to be interested to see or hear what Damrod and Marikar get up to during this time.
Shenanigans galore.
Yes.
The Damrod and Marikar Chronicles.
Yeah. Like a buddy cop duo.
Can we have a spin-off trilogy to tell our story?
Oh,
the
dude! The next
called the Quiet
session.
Arm.
The next session should be like their story, and then like another session should be like our story. Like a spin. That'd be cool.
Low key though.
Come on now.
That's pretty good.
But then you and I couldn't play 1 week, and then they couldn't play 1 week.
We did try that.
Oh, I would still watch that. I'd still watch that.
We did try that once in Curse of Strahd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did it not?
Well,
it didn't necessarily go bad. It just.
I'm sorry. That just sounded like a grand idea.
Well,
we got in some trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we got stuck in different parts of the castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then me and Nathan found you guys almost immediately, and we're like, well, we're halfway through recording. What are we going to do now?
And we went the exact opposite way.
Yeah.
Okay, so Aurelion, you and Rook make your way east. There is fewer troubles on the road for when you first made your way this way, and you arrive back in Rivendell probably a week after leaving Bree. You find your way to the secret ways into the valley and back home. What is then that Aurelion is looking to do and achieve during this time away from everybody else?
So you've got down here the things that I can do, and it says that I can choose 3.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to first do heal corruption.
Okay. So because Rivendell, and especially Elrond, is a master healer, and the elven sanctuaries are certainly much greater places to heal corruption and such. There's going to be there's a lot you can do in regards to healing corruption here. Just by being in Rivendell, you can heal some corruption. So if you want to give me a D4.
Okay.
2. Yeah, so you can heal 2 temporary corruption. Shadow corruption to start off with, just by being back and spending this amount of time in Rivendell. Now, as one of your undertakings for this, you want to also spend time healing that corruption. So you'll have advantage if you give me a corruption save.
Sure thing.
13. Did I put a DC with that?
Yeah, you put DC 12.
Yeah. Okay. So you succeed at that. So now you can give me 2d4. 5. So you can remove a further 5 shadow corruption
That brings me
from your
down to
temple.
3.
Okay. Yeah, so that's one of your undertakings. Now, during this time, obviously, we know that you are reading the journal arduously. It's probably reading and rereading it.
Yeah, he starts at the back, then he goes forward a little bit, and then he restarts it, like speed reads it, and then he goes back and like looks through the deeper meaning.
Yeah. Have you managed to read it yourself yet, right?
Oh yeah, I was reading it during the beginning.
Yeah, that's cool. Your thoughts on it so far? Like,
Uh,
thoughts?
you named one of them Nate, which is going to be real good for me. That's easy.
Yeah, it is Nathaniel Heatherton.
Mm-hmm.
You would know.
So Ron's son, was he on the expedition?
He was not on the expedition.
Gotcha. He just introduced Nate and Timaeus to his son.
Yeah.
Okay, then I think I've got all the information I need.
Yeah, you would have known that Gron's son didn't leave Bree effectively. So when everybody set off, Graw, the name would have been mentioned, didn't set off with Gorlank and Gron and the two boys.
That's another thing. Grolink is the guy who hates high elves, right?
Gorlank.
Gorlink, is that the guy that hates high elves?
Yes. What can you remember that I spoke to you about?
I remember when we were in the Black Barrow that I found something out about some guy that was like an elf in Rivendell. He was just like he hated the Noldor.
Yeah, it wasn't an elf in Rivendell. He
Mhm.
was an elf in Eregion,
Mm,
Ostinethel. Um, and he, before Sauron attacked and destroyed Ostinethel, he crossed the mountains with a lot of the other Sindar and Green Elves, and basically hid himself somewhere in Mirkwood when those kingdoms were established, when Lothlorien and Mirkwood were established as elven kingdoms.
right, I do remember that. Okay, I think I've got all my questions answered.
Yeah. Okay. Um,
Charlie, I'll give you like the cliff notes after the session.
the um, the woman that Nate, Nathaniel, sort of literally got in bed with.
Is her name Cammy?
Dang.
It is not.
Is it Cammy?
You might want to
Cammy.
you might want to make a note of this, as I
Yeah.
didn't put it in the journal itself.
Yeah, that is another thing I meant to ask, but I forgot.
Yeah, it is Berelas.
Oh yeah, I do have that down. I've got that in my notes here.
The name Berelas.
Yeah, Nathaniel Hepperton shares the same family name as Timaeus. He has a friend named Egri from Bree who searched the Barrow Downs. He then met a dwarf and his son named Ron and his son Gror. They met an associate called Gornlack. He was betrayed by Burlius. I've got that in my notes from last time we played.
All right, cool. Yeah, so Berelas.
Barolas.
Yeah, was the woman that Nate met and seemed to effectively like finished off. You would know that in the diary it says that Berelas effectively pushed Nathaniel back into the barrow, and he couldn't get out. Sealed the barrow afterwards.
Yes, I do remember that too. And I think that we did actually read that aloud.
Yeah. Okay. The one name that you can't that it just says the Ranger. It's unsure who this ranger is. There isn't a name given. Okay. Um, so, um, is there anything else? What else would Aurelion be looking to achieve during this time? So you've the one thing was removing some shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm thinking my secondary is going to be research lore to kind of go along with this.
Okay.
And maybe as part of that, he receives gain extra virtue / heirloom. And the cultural heirloom that I was looking at was the books and maps of forbidden lore,
Yeah. Um,
which
yeah.
is
I'm happy for you to achieve the heirloom. That's all.
Mhm.
That is absolutely fine. I'm not sure what that does because I haven't looked at it
Oh,
myself. But
I've got it pulled up. You've recognized the presence of shadow in an area. You automatically recognize the threat of the shadow when you are about to enter a blighted place. When this happens, you make a DC 10 intelligence check. On a success, you identify the source of the blight, allowing you and your companions to have advantage on any required saving throw. And if you have traversed at least one blighted area during the last adventuring stages, and you succeed in the associated shadow lore check, you may spend a fellowship phase compiling your experiences you're undertaking. You gain advantage on the next check you make for this ability.
okay, excellent. Just so you've removed some shadow because also you have gained a lot more knowledge and insight into it.
Yes.
Um, excellent. Um, and you wanted to gain research law, was it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me this phase 198, right?
Hmm. I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact page.
Yeah, that's fine. Undertakings, open sanctuary, meet patron, research law. Um, so when you research law, um, you consult manuscripts and in private libraries, consult with the wise. Um, you make a DC 15 history, nature, law riddle with advantage. If the check succeeds, I will answer 3 of the player's questions concerning a topic related to the skill used. If the check fails, the player hero will still learn 3 things, but 1 or 2 will prove false, cryptic, or misleading.
Charlie, help me out. What should I? You're probably involved in this anyway. What should I ask if I get it?
Can you say that again, Kevin? I heard the last part.
Um, if I can succeed at a history check, then Kevin gets to answer 3 questions I have.
Oh. Those are questions for you.
No, 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 no! I need assistance.
History, law, riddle, or nature.
My history is +8. I'd be crazy not to use that.
I'm trying to think of what the heck you can
Could
ask
we
it.
possibly roll and then me think about it, and then after Rook's phase, we come back to that?
If you want to do that.
Okay.
I mean, the obvious question is, where's the ring?
I mean, yes, but I don't think that Kevin would answer that.
Story done. We win.
Well,
I mean, I
okay,
could give
so
ideas, but our character dynamic is way different.
my answers are all going to be so the 3 questions, right, that I will answer will all be based off whatever skill is rolled. So if you roll, let's say, history, right, then I'm you're going to ask questions and I'm going to answer in a history sense.
Where was it last seen? stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I can absolutely ask some questions that could be resolved in that way.
So yeah, what I will do is I will answer giving. So let's say history, for instance, again. What would happen is I would. You said, okay, where is the ring now? Then I would say, based on some of the information that you've got, I will give you further information, perhaps pertaining to what you have in the journal.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and roll, and then Charlie can do his thing, and then maybe
Yeah.
we can circle back if that's cool.
Yep.
Right, I'm rolling history.
Damn, nice.
You failed.
What if?
Sure, even with the disadvantage portion, she passed.
Yeah,
You get
right.
dumber.
Excellent. Okay.
That's what you get
No,
for reading books, loser.
My highest roll straight was a 16, and the DC was 15.
Excellent. All right. So those are your 3 undertakings that you partook during that time. What sort of things did you do to remove shadow? What helped you remove shadow?
I imagine that a lot of it was very traditional type of healing in Eregion, but the thing that really helps him get, maybe that was the first one we did, but the thing that helps him get rid of the bulk of it is just like spending some time, like maybe he teaches a class for some other elves about some ancient history, like lost civilizations, and just like being in his element really just helps him calm down a little bit.
Yeah. And potentially feeling like you are getting closer. Okay, you're still far away because you answer one question and another question comes about, but at least you're on a trail and you feel like, okay, if I just keep following this trail, I'm gonna get there eventually.
Yeah.
And maybe that's helping also.
And
Okay,
also,
so
part of
yeah,
his fear of dying is just like, I'm going to be taking so much information with me when I die. So maybe like this kind of eases his thoughts. Like, at least I'm passing down some information to the next generation of elves.
yeah, excellent. So Mablung, I imagine all the all the high elves, all the Noldor of Rivendell, and there are Sindar as well, but Rivendell has a lot of Noldor. All call you Mablung. They wouldn't call you Rook.
That's fair. That's fair.
What are your undertakings? Again, you can roll me a d4 to remove some natural shadow just by being in Rivendell and the House of Healing.
Okay, let me get back to my page.
Yeah, and obviously just make sure you all have all your health is full, and that you have all your hit dice back, all your features back, and stuff like that as well. Yeah, so Mablung, you can remove 2 points of temporary shadow.
Okay.
Okay. So what are your undertakings?
Heal corruption. I'm going to take off some more shadow.
Okay. You can roll corruption save, DC 12, I believe I said. Ooh, with that advantage, you just make it.
Woo!
And you can roll me 2d4.
7.
7.
It's gone.
Woo!
No shadow here.
Good job, bud.
You're a sane little guy.
I do have a quick question because my character sheet was at level 3.
Yeah.
Not 4. Do I need to roll my hit dice again for more hit points? Because I don't know if I did that last time or not. Ooh, I have 5 hit points now. Hit dice. Woo!
You've already rolled your hit points for your levels. Because remember we said you can either take the average or what you rolled, and the average was better this time. So you would add 14 hit points for the 2 levels that you gained.
Okay.
7 per level. That's what the average is for you.
Okay. From where I was, or where I'm at from now? Because I was at 24, so yeah, 38 is where I'm sitting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, just make sure that the level at the top is changed as well, because that will increase your proficiency modifier, your proficiency bonus.
Ooh, nice. It did.
Yeah.
So that's one. It says gain extra virtue or heirloom.
Yeah, correct.
I have found a virtue. Where is it? It's deadly archery. Basically, it says when making ranged attacks with a short bow, you do not suffer disadvantage for long range nor for attacking within 5 feet.
Okay. So effectively, that would mean that you would shoot with a short bow, 300 feet, without having disadvantage, and effectively you wouldn't ever need a melee weapon, because as soon as they come within 5, because when they're in melee range, you can just still use your bow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got a tactical bow.
Until your bow
So
breaks.
Shh.
String it with titanium. Boom, done.
Yeah, so that is done. Now, when it's and one of the options you gave me was just said training. What does that mean?
On page 198 again, let me have a look.
198.
What does training do?
Oh, well, find out.
Okay, so some of the cultural virtues effectively have different levels to them. So the woodman, one of the woodman virtues is you can have a dog. And
Heck yeah.
Vader.
yeah, you can have a hound. Well, Vald in the other game has a dog. So in a fellowship phase, you can choose to train your dog to level up effectively and do more features. The Dunedain, they have a virtue. The one that you use against undead and stuff, that has different levels, and so every time you have a fellowship phase, you train that virtue to improve. So that's what the training is.
Okay.
I don't think you have a virtue at the moment that will do that. So
that's out. Gain a new skill or increase proficiency in a skill.
yeah, if you wish. You may need to roll for this one, however.
Okay. What kind of new skill? Talking about right here. Can I? What is it?
So,
Added skill. I don't know what to add.
Yeah,
Acrobatics,
like,
maybe.
Acrobatics, animal handling. I'm not sure what you have. You have a lot of skills, I know.
I got 5 in animal handling. Yeah, I'll take acrobatics because it's dex based, and I think that's all 3.
Yeah, I mean, you could get proficiency in history, insights, intimidation, law, nature, performance, persuasion, riddle, shadow law,
Oh yeah.
sleight of hand, or again, you can try and increase that to expertise, where you double your proficiency with it.
I'll go ahead. I don't know if I use acrobatics all that much, though. That's the thing about it. Let's go with insight.
You want to train your insight.
Yes, because my wisdom score went up, so that will help.
Okay. Give me Give me 3 insight checks.
Regular, like not improved.
Yeah,
Regular
just click
protection 1,
insight 3
2,
times.
3.
Okay. Yeah, you passed twice. You just needed to get higher than the passive, which was 12. So yeah, so you can gain proficiency with insight.
Nice. +5 now. Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And I think
Okay.
that's it, isn't it?
That's your free, indeed. Yeah.
So when does this, or how do I add that to my character sheet?
Add what? Sorry.
The new bow
The-
range.
Let me just do that with you now. So if I just
Right there.
Done.
Awesome.
okay.
Woo!
Yeah, we when we talk about leveling up in a sec, you will have to change some things on your weapons also, but I'll talk you through that in a bit anyway.
All right.
Okay, so let's go over to our human pairing, our human duo. It appears that the two of you, are going to be traveling together for a bit. Now, the difficulty thing is, if you are traveling around, it's going to be difficult for you to remove shadow. Removing shadow is doing like wholesome things, chilling out. Unless you try to take a fishing trip to the Shire.
This bros trip with Damrod and Marikar is going to be nothing but wholesome. Just saying.
Yeah.
So, what are the two of you looking to do over your time together?
Well, we talked about looking for more clues on Nyla.
Yeah.
So that might be a possibility. I'm looking through the virtues right now.
Yeah.
And Bjornings have some cool ass shit.
They do.
Yeah.
They have some really good virtues. Now, again, you can take a Bree virtue if you wish.
Where are the
Um,
virtues? Oh, I see. So oh damn, this keeps on going. Men of the who's and what's
as well as cultural heirlooms as well. You would get your area, so you would get to choose. That,
You're roboting
Okay.
pretty bad, so if you said anything,
Yeah.
if you said anything to me, I couldn't hear you.
I just heard that.
Yeah.
can you hear?
Nope.
He's stuck.
Upset.
Hey!
Oh, he's moving.
Working.
Oh, he
No,
stopped
he's not.
moving.
Oh.
Can you try refreshing, Kevin?
Can't tell if he's being still or if it froze.
Me neither. There we
go.
go. Refreshing.
Here you go.
His connection's just really bad tonight for some reason. Everyone else but Nate's is fine. Nate's
What's
is
wrong with Nate?
Nate's is green, but it's on fire green, so it's his CPU's overloaded. Means his CPU's overloaded. But it's still decent quality.
Oh.
But Kevin's like connection is bottoming out in the reds.
I forgot that we can't see what you can see, so I was like, his thing is green because the back is green, like the wall is green. That's my fault.
That was green?
Is it not?
And it's definitely not green.
In what world is that not green?
It looks tan to me.
In the real world.
I'm gonna color pick
No, it's green. That's a green wall.
this. Thank you.
I'll take a picture of it and send it to you guys.
Yeah,
'cause-
no. I literally just color picked it and it is green.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't pay attention to wall colors.
No, I'm making fun of Nathan because he does.
It's not
And-
green.
See,
What?
we didn't have
You're not green.
we didn't have time for this kind of nonsense before because Nathan was rushing us, but now that Kevin's not here, we can.
A Normaster's gone.
He might not be able to get back in.
So
What pages
there
are
we
the
were.
That's
virtues
not good.
on?
they start at 100.
Same problem as last week.
Yeah, he had the same. Yeah.
Hmm.
Got that British internet.
Of course, it starts once it's our turn.
Of course. The elves are fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, I didn't get to ask my questions, but that's okay.
It gives us more time to think.
That's true. That's true. Look, while he's not here, you guys feed me questions.
on the virtues, no.
Have you
I'm
guys
thinking
seen
about
the
taking
picture?
a virtue.
There he is.
Have you seen the picture underneath virtue for the for the Dunedain virtues?
No, but
It's
I'm
all
gonna.
all I'm saying.
Oh,
All
yeah.
I'm saying is
Yeah.
103.
It's every single Dunedain.
Yes,
Ever.
it's a picture of every Dunedain ever. Page
I'm gonna-
103.
I will pull
Do you
this up
see
on-
the Bjorning virtue right next to that picture?
Oh, whoops.
No. Which one? Jesus.
The twice baked honey cakes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did see
I was
that.
I was looking at skin coat.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess that's more reasonable. Or I could be a baker.
I legit thought that was wrong and that was hobbits. I was like, what is that doing in Bjorning?
I don't know. Apparently, we know our way around the baking sheet, if you know what I mean.
You know
I
way
don't.
around your way around wood and some cakes.
Hmm
Might not have smoked it, but they've certainly tasted it.
Ugh.
Yeah, in the Hobbit itself, they talk about. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, came up connection lost for a second.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, in the Hobbit, it talks about Bjorn's honey cakes.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it does
Oh, man.
actually.
Yeah. So where was we at? Was we talking about virtues or something?
Yeah, I was looking at the virtues, and we were discussing. I guess it would be gathering rumors to kind of get some idea about Nyla.
Yeah.
But would it make sense for both of us to do that? Like, I guess it's my thing, so I would take it. But would it be better if Damrod wanted to help me with that? Would he also lose one of his three things?
I'm fully
does that make
okay
sense?
with gathering rumors if that makes sense, since I like somewhat know the
Mhm.
area.
Sure.
I honestly, when I offered to help search for Nyla, I had planned to use see if I could use one of my things to at least do that. So
Sure.
if I don't
Okay,
I don't have to, because you do, that's fine. But just know you don't have to sacrifice something that you have, so that I don't have to, because I plan to already.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so we'll store searching for rumors for now. What else are you looking at? What else are you like? Think about what you are doing story wise first. So what are you doing? So are you traveling to some ruins? Are you is Damrod taking Marakar to visit some of the ranger sanctuaries? Is he looking to try and find to the north? You have probably the largest Dunedain city here in the north. It's in ruins. It's known locally as Deadman's Dyke.
Oh, I'm taking Damrod there, Americar there for sure.
Damrod would
take me to the dike.
Damrod would. Damrod Damrod would call it Fornost Erain. And it's the largest city and fortress here in the north. And even though it is a ruin with broken walls, other broken buildings and such, the size and the structure is still there for you to see effectively. Also, however, nearby and less ruined, just more abandoned, is the Palace of the called Anuminous.
The Palace of what? You cut out for a second.
The Palace of the Kings.
Okay.
It was built by Elendil when he first arrived, and was effectively the capital of the northern Dunedain, and it's on the lake. There's the shores of Lake Evendim to the northwest of Bree. Again, it was never destroyed in any fighting. It was more so abandoned when the population of the Dunedain dwindled, and then it was relocated to Fornost instead. So yeah, what is Damrod's tour looking like? What are you doing? And then you can sort of decide what undertakings you are doing on that journey.
I think Damrod's main focus is trying to find stuff about Nyla. If it happens to be that the path leads any of these directions, Damrod would be extremely interested to take Marakar to these places, because Marakar has shown even the slightest interest before in the history. So Damrod's like, on our way here, we need to go stop at this place because I need to show you this thing.
Yeah, Marakar would be all about it too. Like, he loves history, he loves learning things, he's just not reading a book about it. That's kind of where he's at.
Okay. Journey, after a few days, leaves Bree and travels east along the road. While traveling east, you reach Weathertop, Mansul, and there you run into the twins, the young rangers that you encountered on the way to Bree. And Damrod escorts you to the secret place, the sanctuary there in the Weather Hills.
Without a bag over my head?
No, probably with a bag over your head. And
okay.
What would Damrod do?
probably would put a bag over your head, but he would definitely make it clear it's not because you're ugly. It's just because it's secret.
My mama says I have nice cheekbones.
But told me not to smile. Yeah. Leading you into the sanctuary, you would have been greeted by the two twins, Solus and Riordal. But you would also be greeted by an older gentleman, probably as broad as you, Marikar,
Whoa.
and even taller than you.
It's me from the future.
And he would turn and greet Damrod very warmly, clasping on the shoulders. And he would say, "Ugh, good to see you again, son. Are you doing well?"
Nate, it's you from the past!
It's me from the past!
Yeah, like 60 years on.
Wow. Ain't that cool?
Who is this that you have brought?
Damrod, for a minute, like forgets himself and looks like a little kid again and smiles at his father and swings that arm around and just show, Father, look what I found.
What is this? Is this? And he sort of he moves the cloak out the way and he's sort of almost examining it. And the twins definitely come over and they're not children. They're probably early mid-20s sort of thing, but in regards to Dunedain, they're still pretty green. And they're looking over it. Is this armor from the old Kingsguard?
Yes, I've had it restored as well.
Where did you find such relics?
On the road with while helping one of your old friends with the quest of theirs. Continuing your work, Father.
An old friend. Who?
Aurelion.
Aurelion. He's left Rivendell again.
Still looking for the trinket.
It will consume him, that will. Well, I'm glad that he got my letters about what information I had gathered for him. Is he still as obstinate as usual?
Your stories. And halfway through this sentence, Damrod remembers that he hasn't taken Marikar's sack off his head and turns and reaches over and like jerks the sack off. And he's like, Marikar, this is my father.
I thought you were dead.
What? Why would you think that?
It was heavily
he would just be in shock. He was like, Damrod, you told Aurelion he was dead.
And he turns.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Mr. I'm sorry. I cracked myself
up.
He was gonna say, I'm sorry, Mr. Son of Halibard.
Halibard.
It is Halbarat.
And he'd go to shake his hand. Halbarat, yes.
And
Aren't you as big as him? And he looks over at Damrod and says that.
He takes after his mother more so.
Damrod just like kind of looks down a little bit and lets out a frustrated sigh.
And like he'll sort of give you a really firm handshake, right? And
Marikar
like
would try to match his
clasps you,
firmness.
yeah, clasps you on the shoulder and gives you a good
Oh, what a
squeeze.
warm greeting.
Yeah, and he'll say like, you have some heft behind you. You are,"
I
and he sort of
get that from my
stands back
father.
a little bit, looks you up and down. He sort of looks you up and down. You're not from around here, also. Are you one of Bjorn's people? You have a bearing of
Yes,
them.
sir. Yes, sir. I'm of the Bjorning people.
Brave men and women they are, of hefty stock.
You know, Mom always says I come from good stock.
Yeah, indeed. Well, why have your journeys brought you here? And he'll like look between the two of you for an answer.
Well, we're looking for the love of Marikar's life.
A good friend, really. I mean, you know, like there's like a thing when we were young, but like it's. I fear that she's in danger. Her and her family.
I see. And how? And tell me the story of this good friend.
Marikar would go back to the first moment he met her and just recount his entire life story with this woman, and then he gets towards the end, and he goes, and then she was supposed to go from the Bjorning lands over to Bree, and for I think what's it been, months, years, something like that.
Um, Probably a year now.
Yeah, and he said, and she never arrived at Bree. It's been a year at least, somewhere around there. Um, it's not like them.
I I'm sorry to hear that we've had reports of more troubles on the road of late. Sort of looks at Damrod, including the news that you have brought. Last you passed this way.
There's still more news to be had. We killed a troll near Bree.
Yes,
Had been
I heard of the
eating
trouble of this one
corpses.
also.
Oh yeah, Big Sucker too.
Yes, I've heard of the troubles of this one also. It had caused some trouble with travelers on the road. Perhaps he was the culprit for any trouble that your good friend had faced.
We did find a trinket of hers in the troll cave. We're hoping that it's not a sign.
Is there any other signs?
I don't think so.
He looks.
I don't think so either.
No, you definitely didn't find any like clothing that would have been hers or anything
Yeah, it was
like
all
that.
like old
Uh,
and raggedy.
Yeah, and he'd give you a good squeeze on the shoulder again, a sort of compassionate squeeze on the shoulder, Marikar.
Mhm.
Uh, I we can send to the other sanctuaries here in the Weathered Hills and make some inquiries of any that were around the east-west road of that time. Maybe they came across the remains of anything that had happened.
Marikar just he tries to stand up straight and kind of present himself as not a mess. But you see, he gets a little not teary-eyed, but a little watery, a little puffed up, and he says, I appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much.
No. And sort of sees the big woodman's axe that you carry, Marikar, knowing that Damrod can certainly look after himself. If you stick around or if you check back in at a later time, once I have asked the questions amongst our people, I may have answers, but we have also had troubles further to the north of the Weather Hills. And he'll look at Damrod and say, the wild men of Rudauer indeed are encroaching even further south, more so than they have ever done. We are about to lead a ranging to ensure that they are not encroaching too far, to seek out any camps that they have. Will you accompany us?
I will.
I will not ask this of one who's not of these lands.
I'd be honored to join you all. Honestly, it'd mean a lot for me to help you all out with what you're doing.
As I said, it is not the duty of those who are of outside of this land to protect it. It is our duty, as it has been for generations since we arrived. However, any help will always be welcome.
Marikar knows his way around some wildlings.
Are
Saw
those
him
them
split a
crow
few in
people?
half.
Yes, those crow people. They have sorcerers and witchcraft amongst them.
Yeah, I'd love to help you out with them.
I do not say this lightly, but they fell to evil long ago, corrupted by the shadow. When the Witch King of Angmar came and destroyed our land, it is the wild men of Rudauer that he turned to first, corrupted and led against us. They hate us for taking their lands long ago, when we first arrived, our peoples. They never forgave us. They held resentment against us, and they hold that resentment still.
With that, Marikar's thinking about his what's that thing that he has? It's called the Curse of Vengeance, and
Yep.
it kind of hits home because he's sitting at a lot of shadow right now, and he starts thinking about what shadow does to a person, and he goes to ask Halberd, like, is that what shadow can do to someone if it kind of goes unchecked? But he refrains from kind of having that conversation with the guy who he's not going to trauma dump on Damrod's dad. But yeah, he keeps it in mind though. It's gives him something to chew on for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And he'll turn to Damrod and he'll look at him and just give him a big, meaty hug again.
And we lost Kevin again.
No.
I don't know what he said, but it was probably sweet.
Am I back?
Kinda. I could hear you for a second.
I can't believe that
And now
he
we
just
can see you again.
Oh wait, is Kevin back?
I don't see him.
Mm-hmm.
Me neither.
I can see him
Yep,
now,
I
and
see
I heard him for a second.
Hold on, I'm gonna refresh real fast.
I'm actually gonna
Am I
have to
moving?
go.
Yes, I can see you. Charles has
Yeah.
to leave though.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I do.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
You're good,
Charles?
Charlie. If you need to
I
leave,
guess I will catch Kevin tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you?
Charlie, quick one.
Oh, bye.
Oh, he's gone. Never mind.
and he's gone.
He's gone. Okay. Where was I? What was I saying? Yeah, he would just give Damrod a big hug and say it's good to see you well. You know, rest up, prepare yourself. Once we have information about this Nyla, he'll let you know. But you know, once we have some information about where their main camp is, then we shall go and deal with it, and it'll be good to have you by my side. During that time, he will offer Marikar some, you know, a chainmail hauberk, if you wished, ready for war. Maybe a helm of some sort if needed.
Oh, Marikar would feel so cool wearing stuff like that. He'd put it on and be like, "Damrod, look." That's it. That's just like, look. He doesn't know how to act in it, so he's just like, eh. Like when you
Looks
put a
great in
sweater on a
Marikar.
cat.
Yeah, it'd offer you a helm as well. And the helm would have like seabird wings coming off it.
Mm-hmm. This isn't gonna make me fly, right? And he kind of like tries to fit it on just right.
Gives you a padded cap to put on first. You don't have to put a helm on. You know, you might
Yeah.
get like a chainmail coif, a padded cap, a cap, then a chainmail coif, and then you'd put the helm on.
I just see Marikar like putting the helmet on first, and then trying to put the other piece on top of that,
Yeah.
and then he's confused, so he takes the chainmail back off, and he tries to put the padded cap on top of the helm, and he takes that back until somebody finally is like, no, let me show you.
One of the twins, one of the twins would come over, Solus, who, you know, is taller than you also, but just very she's like stick thin, but super tall. Yeah, she'd come and, you know, help you put it on properly.
And he'd take out his axe and he'd try like swinging it and seeing what his mobility would be like. And I guess because I am what I am, it probably maybe takes a little bit to get used to, but it doesn't hinder me at all.
Yeah, no, certainly. It fits pretty well. You know, if a normal, if someone from Bree tried to put this on, it would just bury them.
Yeah.
But because of your frame and your stock, then, you know, it fits fine.
Man. I'm a fucking tank now. So is this considered heavy armor or medium armor?
Yeah, it's a chainmail hauberk.
Gotcha. Cool.
Okay. So undertakings. You got to wait a little bit just for rumors to come in.
Mhm.
Damrod.
I'm assuming I'm going to use one of mine for the hunt for the gather rumors. I need to use one of those for helping my father with this stuff, or do I need to pick something instead of that?
No. You know how Aurelion is studying the journal, and
Yeah.
that's sort of like the activity, the story that's happening.
Gotcha.
At this moment in time, this is something, a story that's happening. Whereas the undertakings that you are trying to achieve, they're specific targeted things that you need to focus on doing. So, removing and healing shadow is something specific and targeted that you have to take time to try and achieve. Whereas this is just a story that's happening around you during your fellowship phase.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay, then I think I would like to do the gather rumors, which hopefully I can gather stuff about Nyla is I guess is kind of my specific area there.
Yeah. Okay.
Um I would also like to gain a virtue.
Yeah.
I would like to gain did I skip past it? Yes, I did. Endurance of the Dunedain. Basically, when a hit reduces me below 0 hit points but doesn't kill me outright, I can spend my inspiration to automatically stabilize, remain conscious, and continue to take actions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can gain that, and I think maybe quite fit in for the story that you're going to be doing over this time. Um, what is your third and final undertaking?
I think I actually want to um, hunt for relics. That is kind of Damrod's other thing. He's kind of hunts shadow, but he's also trying to restore some history of his people. So I think he wants to
Yeah.
do hunt for relics.
Okay. Aurelion. Oh. Yeah. Ray.
Yeah.
Reading the journal, Nathaniel pointed out how he and Egri certainly went out and uncovered some ruins and stuff like that. But it was once Nathaniel had the ring that he was actually able to find some locations. Um, Now, would you have tried to contact any of the rangers around any of the information you had found in the journal?
If I'm allowed to, I would love to just reach out and see if anyone possibly knew who Egri or Nate were.
Okay. Yeah, so did you want to try and find the ranger that had helped Nathaniel originally?
Yes. In
Yeah.
addition, if anyone, I don't know if I'm allowed to do that also, but if anyone knows who um, Barolas was or where she went.
Yeah, okay. The Berelas one may need some investigating personally,
Yeah.
but perhaps trying to find the ranger who helped Nathaniel originally.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you can reach out and try and put some feelers to. Try and get in touch with Damrod potentially, or even Halberad. Although you think Halberad's dead.
Yeah, true. Can't do that.
Yeah.
By the way,
So,
he never reacted to that. He was just like, "Oh yeah, good. Aurelian knows I'm dead."
Maybe I'll
He's
stop
like,
getting
yeah,
the
probably
letters.
for the best.
Yeah, Damrod probably Halberad probably would have had a chuckle about it, and enjoyed the joke that Damrod had made.
Just wait till Aurelion gets another correspondence or letter back that was signed to Halbrand.
Wait until Marikar tells him.
Oh man, you're not gonna be alive after that.
Yeah, would you have told Damrod about any of the information in the journal?
Damrod? No, not unless. No. I'm going to say he wanted to look over it and kind of think it over before he brought it to the group at large. But Rook doesn't count.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, so, Damrod, give me 3 survival checks.
I knew this was going to happen. That's why I upped my wisdom. And let's see if that helps me or bites me in the butt.
It'll be good, man.
Nope.
You got inspiration, bud.
Yeah, I'm going to inspire one of those at least.
You can have my rabbit too, if you really need.
There we go.
Okay. You are you taking Marakar with you as well?
To where?
To do some treasure hunting, to find some relics?
I guess that's up to Marikar at that point.
This is like apart from the other stuff that we just did, right? This was like throughout the whole time. At some point, you're going to treasure hunt.
Yeah. Again, this is taking place over the
Right.
7 months, whatever it is, until you come back.
Sure. Yeah, Marikar's fine. He'll go do his own thing for a little bit. You can go treasure hunt.
Marikar's finally gotten sick of listening to Damrod talk about history and crap. And he's just like, oh, I need to go chop some wood. Ugh.
Missing Brooks Wood right now.
See, this is exactly why I said he wouldn't be good in Rivendell.
He's already bored. Damrod's like, they've been gone for 5 minutes, Marikar. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm bored.
Yeah, you pick up on some rumors as well as information that came back from the Rangers that brought you information about Nyla also. The information that you would have gathered is about a year ago, there was a caravan found attacked, destroyed on the east-west road. However, amongst the corpses and whatnot, not everybody was killed. Some fled and ran off. And some of the ones that did flee and run off, and the ones that survived, they don't know what happened to the young lady that was traveling with them, Nyla. The son of the Appledores, George, who was in charge of the caravan and whatnot, he was killed by the troll.
Oh no.
However,
it's a shame that position has reopened for Marikar.
The son?
Yeah. This is such a Marikar response.
Yeah, so George Appledore, the spouse of Nyla, was killed by the troll.
I always said, hey, maybe he'll die. I never wished it. I never wished it, but if it happened, like.
However, reports that were sort of gathered by the Rangers at that time, there was no, dead woman that was found at the scene, and so there's no evidence of any that she was killed. Now, maybe she ran off into the wilderness and died of starvation. Maybe she
died in a hole.
Yeah. Not quite sure, but I mean, she was definitely not dead at the scene. Still missing.
Okay. You know, if there's one thing I've learned from movies, they're not dead unless you see the body.
Yeah.
So there's hope.
And this is Middle Earth. There is always hope.
Yeah.
And there's always shadow.
Yeah. Yeah. You would have found some leads on some ruins and whatnot, Damrod, and you go and investigate them. Give me a D10. Ooh. Okay.
I can't roll a d20 for crap, but I can roll a d10.
We'll just start rolling 2 of those.
Damrod, you search south of the road, past a little bit further east, I guess, of the troll cave, and you search further south, and you come across the ruins of a tower. And while exploring the ruins, you find a chamber buried beneath it. And in there is a circular room. And hanging from this circular room, on this circular room, is a small tapestry. It is a tapestry of the Last Alliance. It has it's telling the story of Elendil arriving on the shores, being greeted by Gil-galad, the Elven King, them forming a friendship, and then Elendil receiving word from Isildur of Mordor stirring and attacking, and Minas Ithil being taken, and that this is war. It shows Elendil beseeching Gil-galad to march to war. Gil-galad agreeing, gathering his elven forces from Lindon, marching to meet Elendil at Weathertop at Amansul. The host marching to Rivendell, crossing the mountains and marching down the Anduin River with the orcs of Sauron fleeing before them. The might of the host of Numenor and the host of the elves. The host being joined in southern Mirkwood by the Sindar elves, the wood elves, 2 other woodland kings, Orather and I can't remember the other king, from Lothlorien, and the 4 kings marching on, being joined by Durin, Durin the Fourth, the king of the dwarves, the 5 kings, along with Isildur and Elrond, marching on Mordor and defeating him, with the loss of the 2 woodland kings, the loss of Durin the Fourth, the loss of Elendil and Gil-galad in combat with Sauron, leaving just Isildur of the kings that marched south. And that is what you find.
This is the story of where everything went to crap.
Mm-hmm.
That's a serious ass tapestry.
Am I able to remove this like safely and preserve it?
You are. It is obviously very stained, but thankfully, because it's been trapped underground and almost entombed, it's preserved. It's been preserved enough for you to be able to remove it and roll it up carefully. Again, it's very tattered on the sides and on the bottom, but you are able to remove it and take it.
Sounds good. I would like to.
You can. And I will think of what you will gain for that. Marika,
Yes.
have you returned back to Bree?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd hang out in Bree for a little bit.
You would have received the news of Nyla, obviously,
Yeah.
from the Rangers. You would have taken part in effectively what would have been the battle in the north.
Wow.
You and Damrod. And what happened was the Rangers, who, for as tall as they are, move like hunting cats. And their military prowess, even though they are small in number, is something else to watch. They work in tight groups of 3s, 4s, 5s, utilizing each other's strengths and abilities to great effect. You've never seen people shoot bows as far as the Dunedain that you have here. Great bows that shoot such a large distance. And even though you were up against a much larger force, probably 100 wild men, similar to what you fought against originally, there was maybe only 30 Dunedain Rangers. They were able to handle them and drive and break the spirit and morale of the wildmen and drive them off back to the north, breaking up their sort of temporary large war camp they'd established.
Yeah, I think Marikar seeing all that and experiencing that with Damrod and Halbarad, who is alive, and all the other Rangers, I think he would definitely be inspired by that. I think that like that kind of experience would definitely stick with him for life.
Yeah, you probably would have followed Halbarad closely, being a sort of armored core to this small elite military force almost. And you would see a lot of similarities, and he would see a lot of similarities in you as like you see in him.
Mhm.
You fight very similar. He wears heavy armor, but he has that same sort of inner rage almost
Sure.
that comes out in the thick of battle. However, it's very controlled still. It's almost a focus more so than a bloodlust.
Right.
Um, and you can see that even though like he'll take blows, it's not like this wild fury that
Mhm.
he's just swinging around madly. It's a case of it's a job. It's like no matter what I do, I'm focused on this job. And if you hit me, you're not my job. This one is my job.
Right.
I'm going after you. I'm plunging forward. He is the front of the wedge almost, and like he's going to plow through because my job is to plow through. And no matter what I do, I'm going to wear everything I need to get through and punch through that line. Um,
Mhm.
and it's that sort of focus and determination almost and diligence in his work, in his role, um, uh, that sort of maybe inspired you and maybe refocuses your your edge
Yeah.
in combat.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. He would be thinking about that a lot, uh, and kind of almost like replaying everything in his head to kind of remind himself that when you get into these rages, you know it's got to be a balancing act to a certain extent, a graceful fury in a sense.
Yeah.
uh
Um,
yeah, for sure, I like that.
so, what undertakings was you going for?
um so I would like to heal some corruption.
Yeah.
Like, as a player, I want all the corruption always,
Mm.
because it sounds so fun but terrible at the same time. But Marikar needs to heal his corruption. uh and I think how he would do that is he'd go to the tavern, uh, and like I think it would be one of those days where, like, Damrod's out treasure hunting, and it's Marikar's first day, like, actually being alone, in the past however long. And he, like, kicks stones for a bit. He gets a little sad. He walks around town, tries to make friends, but he isn't in the mood for it. So I think he gets back to the inn, and he asks barman Barleyman. Uh, he asked him if he could just use his oven, and kind of make a sweet little treat that he remembers as a kid. And he hasn't made it in a while, but he pieces together some twice baked honey cakes. And yeah, he sits there and he just shoves his fat fucking face with as many cakes as he can. And then he'd start making them and, like, passing them around to, like, barley men and other people around, and whatever money it would cost for him to do this, he would happily pay, because it's kind of a nostalgic thing for him that would make him feel good.
Yeah.
And that would be him taking the virtue of twice baked honey cakes.
Okay. Excellent. You can achieve that virtue, and if you want to roll me a corruption save,
I would love to. That is an 8, but a really strong 8.
Inspire
Okay,
it. Inspire it. Do it. Inspire it.
Do I have inspiration?
yeah,
We start every
You don't wanna-
session
Oh,
with
yeah,
one,
yeah.
right?
We get. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Okay. Oh, notifications. Get out of here. Save my.
get out of here.
Get
I'm
out of
rolling.
here.
Hey.
Whoa, there we go.
Hey.
Okay.
No more corruption.
Roll me 2d3.
2d3.
2d4.
Yeah, the D3 that we all have.
I mean, it's a digital
What
dice
is
roll.
happening?
Oh, super sad. It was only going to be 1d4, but
Well, I mean, realistically, the news about Nyla probably is just that still sits with him.
It's
Real
you're
deep,
baking
I
you're
think, is what it
baking
is.
all these cakes and you're so happy and everyone's loving them, and then some random jerk bursts in and is like, hey, here's the news about Nyla, and all of a sudden the cakes don't taste so good. There's a lot less love in them.
Suddenly, their face is salty, and it's because of your tears.
Marikar is going to end up like Thor, eating all these honey cakes. He's just going to be that depressed. He's going to put on like he's going to be huge.
Yeah,
He's gonna have
yeah,
less.
you're gonna come back.
He's gonna have less temporary shadow, but he's gonna cast more of a shadow.
What is the final undertaking of Marikar? Just so I can get to Aurelion's result.
Yeah. The final thing he is going to do. I was interested about the one where it says find a patron.
Yeah.
What
so
do you mean by
that? Would be the Reeve of Bree.
Mhm.
And it's effectively you getting in with him, doing something, getting on his good side, and then you'll be more accepted by him. He'll recognize you. He can give you jobs. He can give you stuff to do,
Gotcha.
and stuff like that.
Okay. I think maybe for a time I think he'll just go to Hatchet and and just do some good, honest farm boy work. And would I be able to, quote unquote, meet a patron there, or would it have to be in Bree?
Effectively, the patron is like,
or would that be a sanctuary thing?
A sanctuary. You can open up a sanctuary. Yeah. Where you can
is that kind of what I'm looking for?
Yeah, you can find rest and recovery at that place, and you're always welcome there. Yeah, and potentially it's a place where you could lose shadow and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that and Hatchet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
some details out of game about that.
Sure.
Okay. So wanted to get to Aurelion quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I believe I've got 3 questions.
Yes. I tried to keep them all history based. First off, where did the name Baralas originate? What people should she be from?
Baralas is very much a southern name, very popular, or very much so, from Gondor. Although the Dunedain of the North could also potentially use that name. Yeah.
Gotcha. To the north in the region of Gondor, what would be a place that someone could hide treasure? Or near Bree?
Is in the local area around here?
In the southern region near Gondor, yeah.
Potentially the near the falls of Rorus, where once you pass through the gates of Argonath, that's where the 2 big statues are standing on the river, and you enter that sort of islet. Well, not islet, but that land where the river splits, and then you got the waterfalls. There would be somewhere that's quiet. You think it's not very well traveled at the moment. It's not easy to get to either.
All right. And I couldn't think of anything else about Barolas, but since I have 3 questions, in the past, whenever Sauron sent his armies, what were some areas that he sent them to that would be good to avoid?
For this region.
Yes.
So the Kingdom of Angmar is located the northeast of the land. So the Misty Mountains runs north south, and then you have the like the Grey Mountains on the one side, and they stretch across like this, like a T. The land in the very north above you is the land called Angmar. Um, and that's you looking at your maps and stuff that you got work on. That's very corrupted up there. The Witch King of Angmar was defeated and drove off. Um, However, the remnants of the people of Angmar, the wild folk of Rudauer, orcs and orc strongholds, are still very much up there.
All right. Guys, I gotta get off because I've had to go to the bathroom since we started. But thanks for the great session, guys.
Right. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
See
Get
y'all.
out of
Thank,
here.
thank you.
And then there were 3.
Mm-hmm.
The only ones of us committed to this fellowship.
Well, I mean, we tried to get through the fellowship phase, and we've mostly got through quite a good chunk of it. What I would like to do next session is just start off with everyone sort of talking about what they have achieved with their level ups. Some of the features you might have picked up. We've picked up some new virtues. You've increased some of your ability scores. And then we can start looking at what happens next. Now, question that I wanted to ask Nathan, and Nate can also help out with this. I wanted to ask all of us, how is the story going in regard to how long would you like it to run on for? Now, I've got plenty more I wish to add in, and to continue to extend. However, I could change it up because the actual material for this sort of framework I'm going off is pretty quick and snappy, and could be done in probably 6 sessions, I guess, 5-6 sessions. However, like there's far more that I've got planned out to keep going forward, especially with the extended setting of when this time that it is, and how it ties into the Lord of the Rings as it is, I guess. So what are your ideas, Nathan? How is the content? Because ultimately we want to provide content for yourselves and make sure we are entertaining you guys, the players, and the audience that would be watching as well.
I mean, I'm fully invested. I'm enjoying it. Every tabletop game that I've ever watched, every campaign that I've ever watched has its slower episodes, and we've had some of those, and we've had some episodes that seemed like they were going to be slower episodes, and then they exploded into just some of the greatest RP. I think we have a great party dynamic, both with our characters and with our players all together. I mean, I'm fully invested and willing to continue this as long as we feasibly have story. Like I don't want it to get to the point where we feel like we're stretching out stuff just to have more episodes, but as long as it makes sense to keep the story going, I'm involved. I'm enjoying this. Like, I'm learning a little more about Lord of the Rings lore, as well as teaching Nate about Lord of the Rings lore. And this is this might be like 5e based, and based on some of the 5e mechanics, but it also feels like a very different system. I feel like this is a lot less forgiving in our combat phases than 5e is. I've been worried at just about every battle we've gotten into in this game, whereas 5e battles sometimes we get in a fight and I'm just like, okay, whatever, this will be easy. I don't think I've had a one combat session that I've thought that since we started playing Middle Earth, and I like that. Like, it's stressful at times because I don't want to lose these characters, but also I like the feeling of like
This might be the
death
day.
being a thing. you know, that's part of the reason why I ended up losing Ragnar and Curse of Strahd. I just kind of played it loose cannon, I guess, and wasn't really worried about the consequences of actually losing a character, and I lost a character. I also, so full disclosure, I didn't want to go back to Damrod's home and take Shadow away because I would like to explore the Shadow mechanics. Like, I'm not trying to itch and intentionally take permanent Shadow and lose this character to Shadow, but at the same time, I'm very interested in exploring the Shadow mechanic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with Damrod being, a Shadow hunter. He's a hunter of the Shadow. I don't imagine him shying away from. I don't imagine him just easily realizing that he's got this Shadow clinging to him all the time.
Yeah.
Well, I like to be a good shadow hunter. You probably have to have a little bit of shadow looming around in the background anyway. You know what I mean? So it's again really, measuring that balance. And I think that's. I mean, obviously, I want all the shadow because I want to explore that hard. But I'm trying to be reasonable and moderate within reason.
I
But
mean,
Marikar's an emotional guy.
we got pretty full, some of you.
Yeah. I almost popped.
Yeah.
I'm 5
Aurelion almost popped.
with my wisdom score increase. I'm 5 away. I'm now 5 away from taking permanent Shadow, whereas because I put my 2 points into wisdom, so before I was 3 away. I'm 5 points away, which, I mean, in reality, that could be, 1 or 2 rolls, really, depending on how much Shadow is taken. But on the other side of it, it could be longer than that. So
Yeah. Well, it still adds a really interesting roleplay mechanic. Even though it's not necessarily always functional, there's that idea of, you're still, you're on the brink. So Aurelion is a prime example of that. Right fucking there. and Aurelion was a lot more bitchy. I'll tell you that. I like slower paced games on a personal level. I don't like, got to go here, go here, go here, go here, go here. No time to stop. No time to actually see a town. Besides, like, I run to the general store, I get my shit, and I get the hell out. I like a slower paced game. I like combat that feels like combat. Of course, some situations it's like, no, Marikar is gonna fucking destroy this person. But those situations, Kevin's got a good gauge. If Marikar wanted to pick a fight with just a random dude on the street, he'd probably just fuck him up. But out in the, I guess you could say, wilderness, right? Things are out there because they're dangerous. You know what I mean? So that's a little different. So yeah, no, I like the pacing. I like the setting. I really like like this setting is everything that I love. Low magic, deadly combat, slow pace, narrative driven story. I mean, it's the perfect system for me. So I'm willing to hang out in Middle Earth as long as Middle Earth will have me.
The only two scripted combats that we've actually had so far from the source material is the troll and the fight outside the barrow. However, it basically says combat, you fight against this, and I've basically just gone, oh, okay. So there's a fight with a dwarf, and he's got some cronies with him, and it tells you how many cronies to add and what those crony stat blocks are. And I just go, okay, I'll make my own dwarf. I effectively used Vili, not quite Vili, but I effectively used Vili as the dwarf stat block, and then went, oh, okay, I've already used these thugs and whatever else, highwaymen, in the other Middle Earth game. I'll just transfer them across, and they're my own sort of creation in regards to what they can do, how tough they are, and I knew that they were a good challenge there, and I knew there'd be a good challenge here as well, and so even though it tells me in the material who I should throw at you, it's not what I have thrown at you as well. I'm glad I've got the balance so far of just being on the edge.
Yeah.
A lot of the time and having that threat there.
Well, and a big thing I like about your combat as well is that, one, you're not afraid to hit us, so like that's nice. But you also keep in mind, like, I guess you could say, I guess there's not necessarily a mechanic for it, but the idea of like morale, if your comrades are just dropping, you're not gonna go, oh well, I'm the last guy here, let's fucking do it. It's like no, especially if you're just like some hired thugs. That's not worth the fucking money.
And in the other games that I run in Middle Earth as well, like the one I'll play tomorrow, it's very much like that. It's you might be fighting against large mobs, and it's like, oh god, there's a lot of them, but it's not like I've got to kill every single one of them. It's once like 50%, they're sort of thinking about it. If they've still got others around them, they're like, okay, my little group might be wore down, but I've still got people here. And the way that I do the large mob tokens as well is very much
I love that.
You'll have 10 like orcs in a bunch, and then they'll get down to, let's say, 1 or 2 or 3 even. Well, now they're like, that group is completely broke. They're not going to stick around. But then the group next to them might be down to 6. So what they do is they jump into that group and they heal that group. And then all of a sudden, like, that group's back up to 9 and that group's dissolved because they're just regrouping with each other. And I use like mechanics like that. And it seems to work really well. It adds sort of a good realism to how a fight and a battle would work.
Yeah. One, like when you look at actual battles and stuff, especially really at all, like once one side knows, oh, we don't have the upper hand anymore, then the idea starts processing. Okay, tactical retreat, or do we just stand and deliver? And a lot of times you're looking for, you're maybe not thinking about the tactical retreat or just full on get the hell out of here, but at some point in a battle, the mood shifts. I mean, like, I've never been in combat, obviously, but you see that, and you'll have, oh, there are 10,000 people fighting in this battle. How many people died? No, about like 1,200. It's like, yeah, real quick, like, yeah, this ain't working out. Let's head back, regroup, and
Yeah. Well, I mean,
again.
I'm glad Nathan's still happy with the story and continuing on. Like I said, I'm more than happy to keep going. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying telling the story, especially to you guys as players. And I will continue to plan out the story and thicken it as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get you really bogged down in it. Have you fight your way through it, not spoon feed it to you as such. Still have you having to work stuff out. And hopefully there's been enough of that as well. Enough for you to your characters to still sort of be hopeful, interested, but at the same time not having the sort of like I said, it's spoon fed to you effectively.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan. I'm excited to explore the world more for sure.
Excellent.
I do have to get going as well, guys. I gotta be on Jarl's channel in 5 minutes, so we're actually gonna play D&D tonight.
Hey, about time, eh?
Yeah, it's been a bit for them too, but between Jarl's stuff and everyone else having stuff going on, so I'm gonna hop over there. It's a pleasure playing with you guys.
I gotta get to work tomorrow morning.
Thank you all, Kevin. Thank you for running it. Like we can tell that you have a passion for not only tabletop role playing, but you have a passion for like the setting and the system we're playing too, and it shows through. And I appreciate that.
It's so good.
That's good. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Enjoy. I'm going to
I will see you all in another dimension.
See ya.